Baldurs K3 latest patch 8 just came out, so it's a great idea to try and play with new subclasses because there's new subclass for every class in the game. And I already got builds for most of them on my channel, but today we're going for Fighter. Fighter is so basic but so good. Since Fighter will have all proficiencies you need, basically every proficiency in every weapon type, just pick any race you like. Even small little halfling will work. But as Fighter we need to choose our fighting style, and for our new and awesome subclass we're going with Archery, that will give us +2 bonus to range weapon attack, basically to chance to hit. Pick any background, and there's two ways how you can allocate stats. Technically what we will need for our build is high dexterity, high constitution, and honestly that's kinda it. But if you will like to use a little bit of exploits and mess with some things that I will explain in the video, then you can also spend some points in wisdom to have protection from mental spells. You can have some points in charisma for some dialogue checks, but if you don't want to mess up with some things and exploits, then also you will need some strength. So that's what I will be doing today. I will min-max with 17 points in strength, 16 dexterity, 15 constitution. Let's go! Straight to the beach, getting up and leveling up. Because that's what you want to do as Fighter to get your subclass. Right now there will be not a lot of choices, basically no choices whatsoever. You will just get action surge from level 2. That will give you ability to use one extra action every short rest in the fight. Pretty useful stuff for extra damage. And level 3, that's where we finally can pick our subclass. And that's the new one, Arcane Archer. First of all, we're getting cantrip. So if your party don't have cleric, you can get guidance. If your party get cleric without light, you can get light, whatever. Most importantly, as Arcane Archer, you're gaining new subclass feature, Arcane Arrows. And yeah, that's why we picked Archery at level 1, but you already know it because you clicked on the video for Arcane Archer, of course. So here's the deal. It works kinda like Battle Master. Basically, it's abilities that uses your arrow, and you need to pick 3 of them right now. Other won't be available. You need to make smart choices, so that's what you can do. Banishing arrow will give you ability to banish enemy. Basically he will disappear for 2 turns. Bejeweling arrow will add extra to the 6 psychic damage and can also charm target. That's also a big one. This condition means the target won't be able to attack you, and that's a big one against bosses if it succeeds. Also we will have Bursting Arrow. It will deal force damage to the target and targets within 3 meters. Enfeebling Arrow can enfeeble enemy. That's the big one against enemies who are using weapons to attack, because they will start to do only half damage. Grasping Arrow is a big one because it will affect enemy for 10 turns. It will reduce enemy movement speed as well as will make enemy take damage when it moves. Extremely powerful against melee enemies. Seeking Arrow will add just 1d6 force damage, but will probably inflict fairy fire upon enemy that will give advantage on attacks against this enemy. But coolest part, it's like magic missile. This arrow always hits its target. Shadow Arrow with extra psychic damage and ability to inflict blindness upon enemy. And Piercing Arrow that will probably pierce bunch of enemies as well as dealing extra 1d6 piercing damage to them. So smart choices in the beginning. It will be of course Seeking Arrow. It's insanely good in case you need to make sure you're hitting your shot. Then one of the 2 options, Piercing Arrow to pierce enemies or Bursting Arrows to burst them in large area. I would go always for Bursting Arrow. First of all, it's more damage, area of damage, and we are less reliant on positioning, so we don't need enemies to stay in the line. Since most of the skills will require wisdom saving throw, dexterity, strength or constitution, it will be hard to actually inflict conditions upon enemies, especially in later stages of the game. That's why I like to use Banishing Arrow. It's charisma saving throw. Charisma is not the best attribute for most enemies, so that's a powerful choice. Level 4, that's where we get Feed Force and also ability to change these arrows. So in case you don't like something, you can experiment every level and change them. And most builds will go with Sharpshooter. I hate Sharpshooter at level 4. We don't want this -5 penalty at early levels with weak weapons. We want ability improvement and just we want to make sure we're hitting our targets. So it's +1 strength, +1 constitution to round it up. level 5 fighter will grant us extra attack. For equipment, again, it's pretty simple. You get proficiency in all armor types, you can basically wear any armor you like, you can go for full heavy armor, or you can go for nice dexterity based armor. That's what I suggest you to do as this class. Find nice dexterity armor, and later in Act 2, in Act 3, you will find armors that will give you ability to use +3 bonus from dexterity, and that's why we're getting our dexterity up to 16 first, just so when we wear those armors, we will be able to use full bonus. And for bow, just find good long bow early game, you can buy them, you can buy basic one, you don't need any fancy bows in early game, just long bow that will have 1d8 basic damage. And you're ready to go. So as fighter, you basically will have these options: 4 different arcane arrows every fight and 1 action surge. So just try to find out what is the best arrow for the situation you are in right now. For example, we get target with pretty low charisma, 8 charisma actually. So we can just banish him if we wish to. This will most likely banish him and he disappears. We also have 1 more extra attack, so we can banish even 1 more target if we wish to. But if we missed, we can use action surge and this will give us extra action. So if you wanna make sure that your arrow hits your target, go with second arrow. And second arrow will always take a shot and deal some damage. In case targets standing together, go for bursting arrow and it will blow everyone up in one big zone. And in case you are in danger in upcoming turns, you can use bonus action second wind to heal yourself for a small amount. However, to become really powerful, you need to find these guys who is attacked by gnolls right in the Act 1. And here, coolest part again, we will become completely OP right from the get-go in Act 1. And after helping them and bringing back shipment or just coming up, or if they didn't survive, then you just need to bring this chest over here in Gentrim hideout. We will finish quest and unlock secret stash from the trader Bram on the bottom of this place. And he sells best bow in the game, Titan String bow. So just buy it. Don't forget to short rest and you're ready to fight again with action surge and more arcane arrows. And why this Titan String bow is so good? It got weapon enchantment, which is really good for Act 1 and 2, but most importantly, this weapon will deal extra damage based on your strength modifier. That's why we need high strength instead of dexterity on this character. Now we have ability to always hit our target with seeking arrow. And coolest part, the range is just insane and arrow will just stick the target. Look at the trajectory. Trajectory is just completely insane. This arrow finds the target and deletes it. Problem, however, it won't add Titan String bow to the attack. But as you can see, bursting arrow will. This adds extra dexterity and strength modifier at the same time. Banishing shot will also benefit from it. So technically the only arrow you don't want to use is seeking arrow. It won't give you any extra damage from Titan String bow. With just this weapon alone, we're completely broken and powerful already, but let's become even more broken. There's actually 2 ways to achieve insanely overpowered state of our build. And the first one will be to talk with Auntie Ethel and trade with her. She will always sell you elixirs of heal giant strength, so you just buy them, or steal, whatever you like more. You drink the potion, your strength will become 21 until long rest. The problem, however, you won't have loads of these potions. It's easy to fix, just level up with any of your characters. For example, level up this fighter to level 6, and fighters will unlock extra additional feat at level 6. The feat we will choose will be Sharp Shooter. This will give us penalty to attack rolls, but give more damage. And at level 6 it's already kinda fine when we got strength at 18 and dexterity at 16. After leveling up, every shop will refresh and you can buy more elixirs. You can basically respec your characters, level them up level by level and buy infinite amounts of these potions. So you will have enough to stay with full strength for full game. But if you don't want exploits and want some kind of fair game, more role-playing experience, then definitely you want to just level up and pick right feats. So at level 7 this fighter will have magic arrow. All of our range attacks considered magical, so we overcome resistances. From now on, resistance enemies is not a problem for us. And we will get curving shot. When we miss with any magical range attack, we can use bonus action to attack next closest target with the same attack. That's actually the cool trick, because the thing with archers, we don't have a lot of ways to utilize our bonus action. potion. Now we have, and that's really useful one. Also we unlock one more arcane shot. This can be some utility arcane shot, but I would go with piercing arrow. Sometimes enemies stay in such a nice line so we can defeat most of them. At level 8 we get one more feat, and this feat should be +2 to dexterity. While strength is added to our damage rolls, still we want higher dexterity to have more chances to hit. At level 9 basically nothing changed. At level 10 your fighter will get one more arcane arrow per short rest and one more arcane shot. And we are approaching late game at this point, at level 10, Act 3 basically. I would go for Beguiling Arrow, ability to inflict some psychic damage with ability to being protected from this person, from our target, is really nice one. At level 11 we're getting one more attack, so now we can do 2 attacks, 2 extra attacks with 1 action. That's crazy. That's completely broken on normal difficulty because every action will give you basically 3 attacks, so you can make like 9 attacks with potion and our fighter ability. But if you play in honor mode, it's just first action. Still, being able to make 3 attacks in 1 action for archer is insane. And of course we picking fighter at level 12 to get our last feat, and last feat will go into dexterity again to maximize our hit chance. That's it. And in the end we will have 2 area of effect abilities in case we need to attack multiple enemies in one place. Seeking Arrow is still in our arsenal, and while it's not benefiting from this Titan String bow, sometimes we just need this extra damage. Still, that's just only some time. Don't overuse this arrow. Wanna banish target? It's easy as it is. Enemy standing in the line, just shoot them and destroy both of them. Again, this arrow is not benefiting from Titan String bow and from Sharpshooter all-in, but Bursting Arrow does, so this will make a lot of extra damage on top of our main damage hit, as well as Charming Arrow. And in case we miss, we always can curve a shot and try to hit another target. So in the end we get a really nice and cool class with different utility abilities. And while damage says you can deal that much damage, don't forget there is no attack roll, so that's why we're not benefiting from Sharpshooter all-in, and that's why we're not adding our strength modifier from Titan weapon. So that's kinda our utility ability. That's also our utility ability in case enemies standing in just one line and there's lots of them. And most of the time we will just use our utility stuff like Beguiling Arrow to charm enemies and deal extra psychic damage, banish them from the battlefield, or just burst everyone around the target for extra additional damage. This one is definitely not more powerful than Battle Master, but can be very fun to play. And I hope you will enjoy this awesome magic archer, Arcane Archer in Baldur's Gate 3. Make sure to subscribe so you're not missing other cool videos and builds that will come up in near future. And you can watch cool videos on the screen right now, and see you there.